That's all to come, but now let's focus on a man who has, dominated much of the early transfer talk this summer. That is Bryan Mbuemo. Will he be following Thomas Frank out of Brentford? And if so, will it be to Spurs or will it be to Manchester United? We spoke to the player yesterday, and you'll have seen that with us, I'm sure. Wasn't giving too much away, was he? Let's, before we come to the Spurs angle on this, get the Manchester United perspective with you, Mark. Linked with him for some time. They've got competition from Tottenham Hotspur. How confident are they of getting their man?
Well, Manchester United will be supremely confident of getting a player that they've identified as someone that can massively improve that attack at Old Trafford. We know that they're relaxed about their pursuit of Bryan Mbuemo. In fact, really, he had turned down other Premier League sides to get to the point where Manchester United were lodging bids for Bryan Mbuemo. Their first offer was rejected, which we understand to be around £55 million. But they know that Bryan Mbuemo has effectively chosen Manchester United. Now, we say effectively, that was at the point maybe a week, 10 days ago, when there were the teams at the table and he said, right, thanks very much for everyone's interest, but I've decided to go to Manchester United. I know Michael is going to interrupt me in a minute and say, hang on a second, things have changed at one North London club in the last few days, and therefore could that change the destination of Bryan Mbuemo? He has 1 year left on his Brentford contract, but the club do have an additional year, so therefore it's effectively a 2-year deal that would get Bryan Mbuemo out of his contract. We know that there is interest, and we know that Brentford want around £60+ million for the wide man who's been there since 2019. His numbers stack up, very consistent with what he does, brilliant relationships with every single person he's been at Brentford. Ivan Toney, Said Benrahma, Ollie Watkins. He's been a consistent force there, but has his Brentford days come to Hoyland. As far as he's concerned, he wants to stay at Old Trafford and fight for his place. Maybe be fighting against Hugo Ekitike or Victor Gyokeres over the course of next season. Now, there has been initial talks between United and Eintracht Frankfurt. No formal bid at this stage yet. Manchester United just considering their options. We understand that personal terms are not likely to be an issue for Hugo Ekitike. The price may be, though. Eintracht Frankfurt have said they want around €100 million for the youngster, someone who nearly joined the Premier League a couple of seasons ago because Newcastle were very much interested, and we know how good Newcastle's recruitment has been over the last couple of years. So if you've got a team like Newcastle watching a young player, clearly means there's something there, but not the only striker. And I think that's the key thing to point out here is Manchester United have not put all their eggs in one basket. They're saying, well, yeah, he's one player that we like and we've opened dialogue. However, no bid yet, and that's always key.